The Dove Variety Hour featuring Thomas and Damien. Enjoy the show.
Welcome back to another edition of me ripping off the intro to the Armchair Podcast by Dax Shepard. Welcome back to the Dove Feet Variety Hour with Damien and Tom.
Hello.
What is the Happy Haps?
So, I wanted to talk to you about good old Jeff Bezos going to space.
travel. Insert space noise here, Damien.
You know, it's
Remind me to do that. I'm telling myself.
It's just funny to me that that testicle literally can do anything he wants.
Wait,
anything.
That
I'm also
testicle or
convinced
his
he wears
spaceship
people's-
because the spaceship looks like a giant dick.
Which I didn't think about it until somebody mentioned it. I was like, oh shit, it does.
Yeah,
Bunch of
same.
dickheads going into space.
And he's bald too, so he looks like a giant phallic dick too. So
Bunch of fucking sperms. Rich sperms, mind you, but
And we say this full well aware that we're still giving him money on a yearly or monthly basis with Prime Daily and all the Prime deals that he provides us. Thank you, Bezos.
by the
Daddy.
way, Prime Day, I think Prime Day sucks.
Oh, Prime Day was a gimmick that was just trying to help them raise their stock prices and all this other BS, and it sucks. Yeah.
Have you bought anything on Prime Day?
No. I've done it previous years, but I have not this year. So
Okay. Yeah, I looked this year and a lot of it. Some people say there was some good stuff, but a lot of it, to me, is just shit. I think it's trying to be Black Friday, but like you said, just a
change
huge
it.
gimmick.
Let's make Black Friday any week of the year.
Yeah.
So people, let's make people spend money during a pandemic when they have no money and they can barely pay the rent. Oh, let's buy some shit on Amazon.
Okay, let's go to space.
Yeah, so he can go to. This is all part of the plan. All part of the plan. Speaking of which,
Yes,
have you watched Bo Burnham's special on Netflix?
I have.
Did you listen to the Bezos song?
Yes, I did.
So I can tell you this. From watching that, I cannot go on Amazon and not have both versions, part 1 and part 2, in my head as I'm ordering. So I'll be checking out Jeffrey Bezos every fucking time now that I order. So thank you, Bo Burnham, for that. I appreciate that.
You know, it must be, what a feeling if Jeff Bezos can have an orgasm every time someone hits complete checkout.
Oh.
This guy, I don't know if this guy would just die.
He would die from an orgasm.
just fucking.
I think he's dead, Jim. He's dead.
I kind of, it's one of those statistics I kind of want to know, like how often is an order placed in a second of a day, or fuck it, in every minute of the day, how many orders are placed?
It's gotta be in the
Millions, I would assume. Right?
I would almost say billions. Well, is how national is Amazon? Can any country? I assume not every country can order Amazon, but
Well, I know. Okay, so obviously it's all of us.
yeah,
United States.
and I know there's Amazon UK because I've ordered
Same.
movies and stuff back in the day. But those are in the pre stages where Amazon wasn't as regulated, and you could order stuff that wasn't even like actually market manufactured. It could be something that somebody made in their fucking house.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So there's UK,
Yeah.
and I know my brother's girlfriend. Because they just came back from Peru,
Okay.
and they had Peru as an address, and I was using her phone, and we were on Amazon, and it said, "Do you want to deliver to Peru? This will be delivered to Peru."
Right.
So I guess I know that's what South.
Better
America.
question is, did you send it to Peru?
No, I didn't say.
Okay.
No, but
I
it's
got
just-
a surprise for you guys. It was actually for me. It's a horror movie. Please send it back to Howard Beach.
But I do think I think it's safe to say they pretty much touch almost everyone.
Okay, fair. So
So a lot.
So
So
he's a molester now too, huh?
Oh, he's raped all of us. I think every time we open,
I don't know how much money I've given him. A lot.
I don't. One thing about Amazon that all right. So I was bored not too long ago,
Okay.
and I was like, let me see what the fuck I ordered in 2006, and you can actually go back.
Oh shit.
And
Okay.
go through a whole list of shit you bought. I mean, it's funny because shit I bought then has not changed from now.
Yeah, same.
But
The problem with me is mine is probably a little bit murky, only because I would buy stuff under my mom's account when I first started buying stuff.
right.
So I'd have to backtrack on hers, which has probably been shut down at this point now because she buys like a maniac in all kinds of different ways. But yeah, it's pretty much going to be the same thing: DVDs, video games,
Yeah.
maybe some random arts and crafty stuff, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's it.
so same. Because I had before we had Prime. I had my own account,
Uh-huh.
which was like came 5-7 days, whatever.
Right.
And so I'd have to backtrack on that. So it's like in a weird way, it becomes like an ancestry.com.
Ancestry.com of purchases. I like it.
Yeah.
Wow, I don't even think I have that movie anymore.
Oh, my grandfather bought Bikini Car Wash Company.
Throw fucking back. Well, funny enough,
Yeah.
I mean, as we touch in on Bezos, I guess we'll talk about him going to space, but it reminded me of something else that we'll segue into.
Sure.
But let's talk about this fucker going to space. How do you feel about that?
Okay. I don't know if it's not really ridiculous because it was always to be expected.
Right. You have money, and I mean, I know the head of the Virgin, the head of Virgin, it's not Virgin Records, but it's Virgin Mobile.
Virgin, mobile. I think
Virgin is wide variety, I guess. So
Yeah,
maybe it's
which-
one.
I thought Virgin closed down. Then here, there's a plane, there's a cruise ship. I'm
Yep.
like, okay, you're surviving somehow.
And I remember the dude, he either did he did reality show or some bullshit. But anyways, he was also talking about space. I think he actually went to, or he has plans of doing it. But
yeah.
it's,
I guess try to see if they survive and then take it from there.
Oh, Jeffrey Bezos is back. All right, I guess I'll go too. No problem.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a bald white man. All right.
Well, I mean, so and then they're all white, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
And I know one of them, the parents paid for the kid that was there. The parents paid for that trip or something like that.
Maybe I'm
That's
not
what
sure.
that's what I thought I
don't know.
read.
Oh, you're talking about Bezos' crew that he went up to space with?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
For him,
Yeah.
not surprised. I actually the only thing I am surprised about
Yeah.
is that piece of shit didn't buy his own fucking ticket. Like, excuse me, he didn't buy his own like spaceship to fly on another day. Just him go up there.
It's like, nah, I got this, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy that. I don't know why he sounds like that. I'm gonna buy the moon and I'm gonna buy Jupiter.
It's like, who are you going to talk to? Don't worry, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'm up here by myself. Oh, there's a dead monkey.
Oh, is that Sputnik? I'm going to buy him. He may be floating as an ice ball from 30, 40 years ago in space as a dog from Russia, but he's mine now. He's mine.
Well, do you think if there's anybody in this world, this planet,
Yeah.
that would buy a planet
Yeah.
and then start like monopolizing it, you think it would be him?
Oh, fucking for sure. He would purposely sell DVDs outside of Mars just so they're worth more money. Like, this one comes with Mars Stardust.
That's true. It may take 3 to 17 years to get to you.
You're like super old. Say, I have my first copy of Futurama. Gather round, children.
Well, it's so funny because let's say this does happen, right? Let's say there is buildings and shit that's all built on other planets, and then they're like, "Oh man, yeah, Amazon didn't have this bag of chips in like the United States, but I can get it from the moon." And they say it'll take like 2 months, and then there's like motherfuckers flying in with jetpacks delivering that shit. To me, it doesn't make it. I don't know, because look, they're already talking about drones being dropping off shit.
In technological aspect, it's kind of cool, but in terms of like what the fuck is the point? Like, what the fuck is the point?
More space. I mean, to have more room,
Yeah.
or just to say he
Aggressive expansion.
did it. Yeah. Okay, Dad, you're going to work? Yeah. I'm about to fly in a spaceship. I'll be back in a month.
God forbid you end up doing the thing like in Interstellar and you get stuck and you're in Jupiter's belt or some shit, and then you end up sucking away 10 years of your life within 30 minutes.
That's true. You come back, your daughter's growing up. She's
Yeah.
got 5 kids. Your wife's a hag, and then you divorce her to go find someone else.
Yep, and you're still in your prime.
Yeah, and then you got to go get it next month, another shift to go find another woman.
And the cycle goes on.
Goes on.
That should be Interstellar too. We should pitch this to Nolan right now.
Interstellar should have been a porn movie. 100%.
Oh my God.
I think it's a pervert's dream.
I was trying to put it together in my head. I'm just like, okay, I'm trying to see where you're going with this, but yeah.
Well, think about it. Think about it. You're a pervert.
Mm-hmm.
You like there's a 5-year-old girl you have the hots for. You go, I'm going to space. When I get back, she's going to be like 35. And then
She's going to be in her prime, and I'll be right around her age.
And you're like, no, I'm only going to be 2 weeks older.
I think that needs to be made as a porno ASAP.
What would the porno name be? Interside her.
In her stell her.
Oh boy.
That'll do it. That'll do it. So anyways.
Yes.
Full circle back to Baldhead Bezos.
Yes.
I don't even know why I say that like it's an insult because I rock the baldy as well. So, but anyways.
Well, okay, so let me ask you.
Yeah.
Since we're speaking about Amazon, all the purchases you've ever made or can recall,
right?
What was one of your best purchases, and what was one of your worst purchases? Now, if you could just pinpoint one and one, as opposed instead of a collective, go for it. But think about it. Of all the years we've had Amazon,
right?
There's got to be you had to have found one that was like, oh man, that was a steal.
Oh, that's tough, man. Because there's so many stupid purchases that I've made throughout my life, and I don't know whether or not the origin of it was from Amazon.
Okay.
But also, I feel like in terms of the collective, I could probably come up with a better answer than the non-collective.
Okay, so let's do a collective.
So the collective would be the worst purchase I ever made was on my mother's account when she gave me her credit card and I spent $1,000 on DVDs, and then I sent it back. But I didn't want to. I didn't want. My brother brought it up the other day. He's like, "Yo, you didn't even send it all back, right?" And I'm like, "No, I had to because I was about to be murdered by my mother." So
you said that was a giant ass box, right? It was one big.
Yeah,
box?
it was like a decent size, like a moving box full of DVDs that arrived to the house, and all brand new DVDs. So the problem/solution is the other movies I ordered were used DVDs, so I couldn't return them. So I kind of broke even, But I didn't spend $1,000 on those. It was like random stuff that were used and cheaper, and some of the stuff that I ordered was for her too. So
okay. Yeah. Well, remember when we did half.com?
Oh my God!
It was like a $500 order or something.
It was feverish. Yes. Was it 5 or 3?
It may have been 3. I remember we were upstairs in my parents' living room.
Yes.
And we were sitting on the couch. You had your phone out. We had half.com, and we were literally I think most of the movies we ordered were the same thing.
You should get 2 copies of that one because I want that one too. Oh shit! I've never seen that movie. Yeah, I should add that to my list too.
Remember that one movie? Was it Dead Man's Shoes?
Yeah, I was just gonna. Anytime I see that one sitting on my shelf, I instantly think of half.com.
Me too.
And that's a great movie.
It is. It's just a good movie.
It's the association of that movie to the origin of the origination.
Share with our audience.
Yes.
Share with our audience. Go ahead. Tell us the origin story of Dead Man's Shoes on DVD from half.com.
Oh my God! Wait, is this now? Because we've ordered many of things there. Is that the one where that was all scratched up?
Correct.
Okay. So
if you don't remember, I remember it.
I do remember it. You just feel free to chime in if I'm lagging on my memory here.
Well, so we got. I'll start up.
Go ahead.
You got this huge box. They're all coming separately. They're all from different sellers. We got.
I think did a side note. I guess again though. Did they do any sales or not sales, but did they do any shipping deals where it would come together? Or it was only if it was the same seller.
It was
right?
the same seller.
Okay, gotcha.
The thing when half.
So we were just driving our mailmen and women
nuts.
Crazy.
Yeah,
and
this is before
fucking DVD again.
Yeah. So half.com was associated through eBay.
Yeah.
And it was like a subsidiary company that eBay was working out. And basically what half.com was not around anymore, it was basically like going to your garage and people just putting shit up in the garage. Like I know that's what eBay is, but it's like an even cheaper version.
Yeah, and it was a little less I guess the gimmick with eBay was like you can bid on it, you can somehow come out even, you could somehow get a steal. Half.com is like, these are the competitive rates of a price of something you want. Lowest rate is right there, highest rate there. There's the quality. You can get it as you wish. Buy it right now. You're good to go. And from initial experience,
it was pretty
not
good.
Terrible. Yeah.
No, it was not terrible at all. Actually, for the most part, we would actually get a couple of movies on there.
They did books too, right? I'm pretty sure I bought books for college.
There was college books. Yeah.
So that was like the initial introduction to it. And then when I found DVDs, it was like, we're in for a problem.
But that is the problem because a lot of it, when we compare those prices to other places, that was the cheapest.
Yeah.
For a lot, like remember,
Oh, for sure.
we bought Nightmare on Elm Street, the box set.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the exact price was $17, which
Holy
is
shit.
It's so cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we bought 2 of them. Anyway, so packages come in. Damien calls me. Damien was still living in Queens.
Yep.
Hey man, orders came in. It looks like Dead Man Shoes. You know, if you want to come get it. So I come by. And we open up these packages.
Yep.
So he gets his copy, I get my copy. Some of them were, they were open. So we were just opening up.
Yeah,
to check
everything was pretty much, for the most part, advertised like new, used. Some would say used, some would say with wear, some would say damaged box, some would whatever. But for the most part, we kind of steer towards like new, used, but not too damaged because we wanted to still keep it pristine for our collection.
Right. And so here it is. We open up. I don't know whose copy it was, but we open up one copy of Dead Man Shoes.
Yeah, I was just gonna say one was fine and the other was not.
Yes. So, and you flip the disc over,
and it was just scratched to the point where, like, if you put it into any form of DVD player, these are an extinct machine that people don't use anymore. But if you put it inside what one would call a DVD player, it would not play. I don't even think we tested it. We just knew. We knew enough about DVDs that we were like, this shit is not going to play no matter what the fuck we do.
It was barely damaged.
So in retaliation to seeing that, we instantly jump on the half.com message, message the seller. It's like, I'm not sure what happened with this DVD, but it was advertised as like new. And it looks like somebody just took it to polish a table or something. Like, we were being like unnecessarily dick-like just about it. And of course, we messaged what was probably, I think from the return response, it was like a mother, and it belonged.
That's the best part.
These are like DVDs that belonged to like her son that she was just getting rid of clutter. As you mentioned, full circle back to like just pulling crud out of your garage.
Yep.
So she was, her response. You fill in the rest on the response.
Her response
it
was,
had me dying. I felt bad.
It was
but
something
I
like,
thought it was hilarious.
I'm sorry. Something like that. These were my sons.
Yeah.
He took good care of his movies. Go.
She said something in the lines of, "We would never use a DVD to wipe a table."
She was so caught up on not the fact that he was being so passive, not even passive, being aggressive,
being a dick.
She was just like,
who would literally do that? She was trying to break down. I was like, I was saying it to be a dick, which was stupid of me, but at the same time hilarious.
And then, but she did. She took the refund, right? She accepted the refund.
I think we had to send it back.
We had to send it back, but they refunded you, and then we ordered one more, and then that ended up being fine.
Yeah, we got another copy, and the copy was okay. So,
I mean, that was a fun time. That was also a nerve-wracking time.
It was a fun ride.
Yeah, because we were like 19, 20, and so $300 and something is a lot of. I mean, it's still a lot of money, but like on movies, it's
what probably made it seem less like detrimental. It's like, $300 between the two of us. So that's like $150 all in between us.
But that was like a 2-week paycheck at CVS.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the problem.
If even.
So okay. So now let's. Okay. So you're saying your worst experience on Amazon was the $1,000 purchase
over purchasing junk.
And what was your best? What was your like your win?
Well, I'm going to sound like an old man now, but lately I use it for just like nooks and essentials and everything. And lately, as I've mentioned before to you, I've got a new little kitten,
right?
And in the purchasing of stuff for the kitten, like in terms of food and toys and like little scratching posts and shit,
right?
The go-to place to make it the cheapest and the easiest to get all in one go has been Amazon.
Right.
I went to my local pharmacy, I went to the local grocery store, and they don't even have fucking kitten food. So the simplest shit of just getting there, I couldn't even find. So I wandered to a fucking pet shop, which for me, a pet shop is like 10, 15 minutes of a walk from my house.
Right.
I barely found anything in there that was not overly priced. One on Amazon, I found everything in one shot. So, and then just regular like adult essentials that you need just to function.
No, of course.
Lately, it's been there. So
your win has been basically buying the things you need to live.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Give me some time. Maybe I'll think of a grand purchase that I made on there that's like, wow, I can't believe I got this there and I still have it. But
well, I'm going to tell you a story. Hopefully, motivate you or inspire you for it. Okay. A couple of summers ago, I was. Although I like this show, I didn't think I was going to go and ever buy it, but so I was looking at the Seinfeld complete collection.
Right.
And I was like, wow, this is really expensive. It's like $60, $70. And I'm like, I would never spend on
Blu-ray? Or just
regular DVD.
Oh yeah. Ugh.
And I was like, I don't know if I want to do
See,
that.
that's how you know the level of snob we are when it comes to collecting.
Exactly.
Oh, it's not Blu-ray. I turned my nose up to that.
And so I was like, that's too much money.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm looking. And on Amazon, I'll give you a couple of different prices. I'll give you Amazon's price, or I'll give you used and new, third-party seller.
Third party. Yep.
So I was looking down, and I saw used, and it said $23. And I'm like, that's a mistake. Let me see what's up. Usually when prices are that low, it's usually a new seller, and it could be a scam.
Right.
So I clicked it, and it was a seller. They were out in Arizona, and they were like a warehouse. They had it, said like new, only used a couple of times, selling it, everything in good condition. They had a lot of reviews, and I was like, holy shit, could be a steal. Like I could save, like after tax, it was like $26. Like I can actually save $40-something off of something that was super expensive. So I was like,
right.
Let me see. So I dug a little further, and when you go into the seller's information, it had their number for their business.
Nice. Okay.
Called them up, spoke to a guy, super nice. He goes, yep. He goes, everything's here. He goes, we had a couple come in. We're just trying to get rid of them. I said, fuck yeah.
Nice.
So there was 2 of them at that price, one from a different seller. And by the time I made the decision to buy it,
Yeah.
the other one was sold already.
Yep.
And I said, fuck. So I made sure
All
I
right,
got the
gotta
one. I
jump
spoke
at
to
the
the
other
guy.
one. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I never seen that price again. So for me, that's a win, only because nowadays the Seinfeld collection, I think the one I got, which I think is the last one they came out with as a complete series in terms of updating, I think it's still running around $40-$50. So worst case, like best case scenario. You about to fact check me?
I was gonna say I wouldn't know. I got one for free. Somebody was throwing it out at my job.
Did you? You got
I actually, I didn't check to see if all the DVDs were in it, but somebody was throwing a full box set of it out.
the complete series?
Yep,
The blue box?
blue box. Yeah.
Holy shit!
If the blue box minus the holder, so you know how like it like comes with the exterior.
No, that one didn't come with a holder.
Oh, so it's just like an open thing.
It's just an open case.
Oh, so yeah, I found that one at the part-time job I was doing.
Fuck you for free.
For free. For gratis.
Wow.
And yes, I am currently scrolling through Amazon because I'm trying to.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I did think of a singular bad purchase. So I remember back in the day, I discovered this show called Spaced.
Yep.
It's one of the first things that Edgar Wright did, who's done Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Baby Driver, etc.
Right.
So I had watched it on whatever, I'm not sure exactly where, and it was amazing. I love the show. So I was like, fuck, I got to get a copy of it. And this was still in the ages of it was in the ages of VHS and what haves.
Right.
So I bought the VHS copies of it thinking that it would play. I didn't realize
VHS copies, goddamn.
Yep. I didn't realize that VHS PAL was different than VHS NTSC.
NTSC, yes.
So, with that in mind, I pop it into my fucking VHS player and nothing happens. And I was so mad because it wasn't cheap and I could not watch what I wanted to watch. So, yeah, that was my least favorite purchase. Flash forward a couple maybe a decade later, I guess the parallel purchase that was great is I bought the full series and it's great and it's a phenomenal show. So,
I'm
Spaced,
the final frontier. I'm trying to think of a purchase that I made that was, well, I don't know if there was an Amazon purchase in particular that I thought was really bad, but I do have a purchase that I was kind of pissed about, but from eBay, if that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So,
holy shit, I got all the way back to 2002. Let's see.
2002?
2002. I just pulled up my ancient Amazon account, and it was created in 2002.
Wow.
In December. And I guess, because I don't remember buying these for my sake, I think I bought them for my mom.
Okay.
And maybe, I guess she just paid for it. But I bought all the individual versions of the 007 movies.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. So it starts with Tomorrow Never Dies, which is not the first movie, but it goes from Tomorrow Never Dies, Live and Let Die, Moonraker, Thunderball, Doctor No, GoldenEye, You Only Live Twice, On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which is Timothy Dalton, Diamonds Are Forever, The Man with the Golden Gun, etc., etc., etc. I bought every single individual movie. And then I finally took the time to buy my own movies. My first purchase movies were Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Back to the Future, the complete box set.
So I'm burning to know, how much was the GoldenEye set.
Well, it was not a set, so that's the problem. It was all into. Oh wow.
Well, I'm saying
You ready? You ready for this?
Go ahead.
They weren't even DVDs, bro.
VHSs.
I thought that they were DVDs. These were VHSs that I purchased.
Holy shit. Well, 2002. That makes sense.
Yep. I'm trying to let's see what the price was. View order details. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, not crazy priced. So around 10 to $15 per VHS.
VHS. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So it's making more sense now. So it was actually all one initial purchase. So okay. So
Go ahead.
fully to recap as I'm
Okay.
fully dissecting into it in real time. Oh my god. So it was one single order. It was all the VH copies of the 007 movies. And then because I was doing my mother such a great solid by helping her purchase movies, oh, Mom, can I buy a couple movies for myself? And then I spent $50 on Back to the Future and Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
But those were DVDs.
Those were DVDs. Yep.
Now, do you still have those?
I still have the DVDs.
But the
VHS,
VHSs, yeah, no.
I think they're long gone. Yeah.
So your mother's a GoldenEye? Your mother's a 007 fan?
No.
Whose idea was to
not
get
particularly. I think you know what it was. I think she was just she watched a couple of them and she was like, "Oh, you could get them all online." And then it was just one of those like feverish.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see where the addiction of purchasing and hoarding comes from. That's all I'm going to say.
I get it. And I guess back then it's like, oh, I like it. Let me watch more. But, you don't have streaming.
Right.
That's so fucking funny. That's great that it went back that far. Because it's weird to think Amazon was selling VHS tapes,
I'm starting to realize, as I mentioned before, that whole fiasco of ordering an excessive movies and having to return them all. I'm pretty sure this was that account. Because as I'm looking through what I purchased, it makes sense that was likely
That is a
where
lot.
it came from.
I am literally, so I'm sitting across from Damien.
And you're seeing me scroll.
I'm seeing you scroll and all I see is movies.
Yep. It's 100% movies. Which, speaking of which, I just went through a literal barrel, like one of those barrels that Walter White used in Breaking Bad that he would like store his money in.
Yeah.
I went through barrels like that in my mom's place in the last in the last week, and just because she doesn't want any of the movies, she didn't want any of that. It was filled with movies. It was filled with books. It was filled with all these nostalgic moments, and half of what I'm scrolling through right now was all in there.
So who's a Friends fan?
I don't know, because I don't even see it. It wasn't a purchase on here.
Oh, interesting.
So it's kind of confusing, like where it came from.
Because and some of from the pictures you showed me, some of those were still sealed. Oh no! What
So
did you
many
find?
Fucking movies.
Any
No,
good
it's
ones there? Any ones that you shake your head now like, oh God, why?
Well, I have. There was a period of time where I funneled through all the Jackass movies.
Yeah. Okay.
And then, or the Jackass shows, not quite the movies yet, but they had all the side stuff. So like, Bam Margera had all his CKY stuff on the side. Steve-O had his Steve-O videos on
Yeah.
the side. So it's all the little side nooks and crannies of everything that they did from this movie that they did called Haggard, which was a terrible movie, but it was like a hybrid of like a stupid story meets like stupid, silly stunts that makes it entertaining.
Right.
I don't even think I fucking watched the whole thing. The first season of SpongeBob SquarePants, the complete second season of Dawson's Creek.
Why?
I don't know. I think that was another. Yeah, you like the show, Mom, and then she decided to purchase it.
So will you encourage your mother just to get it so that you can say, "Hey, I have this"?
Oh yeah, for sure. For every 5 movies she would get, that means I could get one. So I think that was the logic there.
Oh, okay. So fight her through getting 15 or so, so you can get a couple in.
Bingo.
Wow, 2002. I don't. My count. Yeah, no, my count goes back to like probably 2007, 2006. And,
Okay.
Yeah, and well, I got my father's account here, but
Yeah.
let's see.
I'm just trying to do the math here.
2005.
That means I was about 12, 13 years old, approximately, from 2002. What? I'm sorry, you said 2009?
2005 for me.
Oh, 2005, sorry.
But nothing was bought in 2005.
Gotcha.
2006.
That's when the ducats started rolling in.
50 movie classics. Sci-fi.
I like it.
And it was a Christmas gift. It's pretty cool. You can go back and and just look just for the sake of being like.
Well, it's literally it's not only watching our likes and tastes unfold and stuff that you purchase kind of develop, but it's also sort of seeing Amazon develop in its same sense too, because you see going from DVDs to physical copies of CDs and double deluxe versions of this and that,
right,
that have now pretty much become digital copies for the most
True.
part. Crazy stuff, man. It's a rabbit hole I didn't think I'd go down.
Is that System of a Down?
Where? This one?
Yeah.
No, that's Eagles of Death Metal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's a Garmin GPS.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I'm sorry. And the Garmin carrying case for said GPS.
What year is this? 2005?
2006.
Wow. Yeah, that makes sense.
On a Linksys wireless USB adapter.
Oh, my God.
To help extend the Wi-Fi, because it just wasn't strong enough at that point in life. All right, I got to stop looking at this because this will become the rest of the podcast.
It's pretty cool, though.
It is pretty cool. We should do a full scroll, both compare back and forth between you and
I have to log into my account,
yeah,
and then see. It's nowhere near as extensive as you have a lot of shit.
Oh yeah,
you have a lot of crap.
Unnecessary. My other concern, not concern, but my other point of curiosity is I'm trying to see what is there that was purchased and what is still sitting on my DVD shelf right now. So some I can already say I haven't seen that movie in 6 years.
Yeah,
where the fuck did it go? Did it end up with my
so I was
cousin
about to ask you, have you been able to salvage every movie you ever bought without it getting lost? And you just answered my question, which was
most definitely not. But I will tell you, my intricacies of holding them down and not lending them to people has grown. So I remember my cousin came once and borrowed a handful of movies, and then I asked him like 6 months later, like what happened. And he was like, oh, like when people ask for, somebody asked to borrow it here. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean, bro? Where's my fucking Mr. Bean complete collection? So, yeah.
Was that really one of them?
That was one of them,
Oh,
yeah.
that sucks.
Yeah.
Do you own it now again or no?
I don't think I've repurchased it, but I have intentions to repurchase it, so
that
eventually.
Sucks.
Yeah.
So, talking about giving things away and then or losing it, my cousin is a big manga fan or whatever, anime, whatever. And she had a collection of books that she bought from Barnes & Nobles, maybe and some from Amazon.
Okay.
And she completed the volume.
Nice.
And she went away to college. Apparently, my aunt was cleaning.
Oh, no.
And said, fuck that.
Oh,
She's
no.
too old for this. Just threw him out. Threw him in a garbage bag, threw him out on the curb. So my cousin came home. She goes, she was going through her closet and she noticed.
Hey, I'm wondering where my fucking stuff is.
Yeah, she's like, and she went down. She says, Mom, where's that? So she goes, oh, I threw it out, blah, blah, blah. And up until now, that was like over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Up until now, she goes, I'm still trying to get back all those issues because they're so expensive. And she goes, little by little, I've like been able to get one from like a library. They were selling it, or she's like, but just the fact that like they were in pristine condition, like she was
the collection was fucking complete.
And she goes, incomplete. And she goes, there's two of them I can't. They're so hard to get. And she goes, and I had them. And that's the fury.
Just hearing this is like churning my stomach because I know that feeling. I know the feeling of having it and having it all destroyed. And
well, I'm going to sound selfish here for a second, but when we first moved into Queens,
yeah,
I had a Dreamcast. And my friend gave me a couple of games. He's like, I don't want to take them.
Yeah.
Two of those were Power Stone 2.
Okay.
And Marvel vs. Capcom.
I don't know why Power Stone just reminded me. Buy me Bone Storm or go to hell. Sounds like a Simpsons game.
Yeah. But Power Stone is like Super Smash. It's like an arena fighter. You can fight like 4 different people.
Okay.
Anyway, between those 2 games alone, it didn't have the front cover. So like, CD Jules, it was like you get the manual was the cover, so you take it out, you can slide it out.
Yeah, right.
If you take that out, then it's just a clear case. You just see the disc.
Yeah,
and it had the back cover art. Well, these both just had it was a clear case, no cover, just the back art and the disc. So those were missing, but they were worth a lot of money. I didn't know that.
So just refresh my memory because I was never up on the Dreamcast game. But
okay,
the games came just like the PS2.
No, the game.
No,
came
I'm sorry.
as
The
a PS1.
PS1.
Yes,
they came just like the PS1 cases.
So
like
then
a CD case to an extent, it has like a small slip
yes,
cover.
So the front,
and then
the cover is the manual.
Got it. Okay.
So that's what same thing.
Okay.
And so those were missing from those 2, but it had the disc and the back still had its image, which I think whatever. So I remember I played the shit out of those a lot.
Yeah.
And after a certain point, I didn't play. I was kind of collecting dust because the 360 came out or whatever.
Yeah.
And we were focused on that. So it went missing. And I remember telling my parents,
no.
I was like, Mom, Dad, where's the Dreamcast? Because it was like a month later. I was in the mood to play whatever.
Yeah. You just got one of those the spur of the moment. Yeah, let me play this fucker. Let me plug it in and give it a run again.
That's exactly it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's in the attic. I don't know. It's in the attic. I was like, well, I'm going to go in the attic. No, it's a mess. No, I'm going to go. Go in the attic. Fucking, it had to be an hour. I was digging and searching. I come back down and they're like, it's in the attic. I don't remember where. For weeks, I think 2 weeks, I was so on. Like, where the fuck's the Dreamcast?
Yeah.
They finally confessed to me that my cousin from Argentina was here. She was opening a business, a candy shop place. So my aunt bought her a PlayStation 3, actually at the GameStop that was in the area.
Mm-hmm.
She went to Radio Shack, bought her the European connected, what do you call that? The converter.
Yeah, right.
And my mother said, well, they don't use this anymore. Go and take it. And my fucking cousin took it. And lo and behold, to no surprise, because Argentina's been in a fucking economic depression for God knows how many years.
Yeah.
The business didn't do well.
Oh,
so I don't know what the fuck happened with all that. I think she ended up selling it to make money.
Probably.
And there went my fucking Dreamcast. By the way,
fucking Argentinians.
I don't even know if they had the converter for the plug. Well, I guess the Dreamcast was just a regular 2-prong, so I guess just use whatever to connect to it.
Right.
When I found that out, I was so livid.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I think if they just would have asked me and told me the situation, I may have considered it because I'm not a heartless fuck. I may have considered because I really didn't use it. It was just, like you said, spur of the moment, wanted to play. But the fact that they didn't, and then they
he doesn't need it. Just take it. It's taking up space here. Just go.
And so what ended up happening was this is when like eBay was a thing, and I was like, look, and I remember showing them like, we had these. Look how expensive these were, and they're like, oh fuck, because I think it was Power Stone or one of them, or no, Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah.
Even just the case with no
I guess
manual.
more insult to injury. It wasn't just the system. It was the game. It
was
that
all the
was
games
with it too, right? Okay. So
it was a shit ton of games for it. Yeah. So it bothered me believe it or not, it bothered me for so long that in like 2015, when I actually just moved into the apartment, of course, moved into the apartment, I said, fuck this. I'm going to get it because it bothered me.
I was just going to say, I sense a happy ending coming to the story only because I've seen the system sitting in your little display.
Yep. And so I went out and went on Craigslist, and the guy he sold his Dreamcast to me for $40. Nice. He had 8 controllers. They're all pretty much really good condition.
Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a system, 8 controllers, a couple memory cards, and it was like 3 games, and then everything was working great. Yeah. And I wasn't going to go and start collecting the Dreamcast. I was never really a Dreamcast fan.
But at least you got to start from square one again from way back when.
Yeah. So you just burn all the games and because burning the games on Dreamcast is super easy. But talking about having something and then being like, I think it's the comfort thing. We spoke about this once before, which is
for sure.
The comfort thing about collecting is you go, fuck, I wish I had that. And then you cut yourself short and go, oh, wait, I do have that. And sometimes when you forget because you have
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Yep. You ever get that feeling of such an abundance of shit? So you ever get that feeling when you're looking through your stuff and you happen to stumble on something, you forget that, you're even looking for, you're like, oh, fuck, I have that?
I have done that with actually purchasing movies.
Okay, so tell me about it.
I've bought movies that have already been sitting on my shelf. It's like, oh, I need to get that copy. And then I go to put it on my shelf to add it with my collection. I go, oh fuck! I already have that fucking movie, and I did that accidentally the other day. I ordered. That was probably the last time I did it. Thankfully, I guess maybe I'm getting a little more astute about my collection. But I bought a copy of Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man, the Marvel Spider-Man.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I bought I went to buy the one with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Okay.
And I bought the first one, not realizing I was buying the first one, thinking I was buying the second one just because I didn't pay attention to the title.
Hold on. So you needed the Jake Gyllenhaal one?
I needed the Jake Gyllenhaal one.
And you ended up buying the one with, what's his name? The Batman guy. What the fuck's his name?
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
I ended up buying the first one instead of the second one again.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So they have 2 copies of that?
No, I ended up giving it to my stepbrother.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, I mean, no. He was grateful, at least. So he was like, "Oh yeah, I don't know this movie. Yeah, awesome, I'll take it."
So the question, which is rhetorical, is you bought the Jake Gyllenhaal one? Yeah, okay.
You bet your ass I did.
So do you own all the Spider-Mans? Are you up to date with all the Spider-Mans?
I have everything but Spider-Man 3,
Okay.
and I don't think I own Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
And that, so to full-fledged break it all down, I own Spider-Man 1, Tobey Maguire. I don't have 2 and 3.
Okay.
I have The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield.
Right.
And then I have the newer ones with Marvel.
That's interesting. You're missing those two.
And I'm no real reason why I'm missing part 2 for the Tobey Maguire one, because that one's great.
I love that
The
one.
Tobey Maguire one. I don't know why my voice cracked like that. The Tobey Maguire one, and part 3 I don't see a point in owning, but to complete the collection, it will be in due time. I think what happened, the reason I ended up getting Spider-Man, the first one, is because the copy that I found was a good copy and it was cheap somewhere. So
Okay.
I just said, fuck it. I mean, for $5 or whatever the hell it was.
So do you own
This story,
Universe?
it's not for faint of heart. I remember the intro of that movie. Like I watched it so many times with Ken. But anyway, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Into the Spider-Verse?
Yes.
Okay.
I bought it before it became an official title on... Wait, did they take it off? No, they took it off of Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's off Netflix, yeah.
So I watched it in the theater. I purchased it as soon as it came out. I ended up buying a physical copy on top of that. And then it was on Netflix for like a year and change. Now it's officially off, but now I got my digital copy and physical copy. So I love that movie. It's phenomenal. So.
I love that movie. I'm pissed. The only thing I'm pissed at myself about, I really do kick myself in the ass for this, is it's so stupid. Not a Steelbook. They had one when it first came out. It came with the sleeve.
Oh, yes.
And Best Buy had it. I had it in my hand, and I was like, do I want to get it? But I just didn't want to spend.
I don't need it. And then...
Yep. I didn't want to spend $20, whatever it was. But I ended up getting it as a gift.
Uh-huh.
And did not come with the sleeve. And I'm like, motherfucker, but...
Oh, this is great, but it's not the one I want.
Yeah, I just waited too long. I was stupid. But, yeah, I think I have Spider-Man 3. My uncle gave it to me. He didn't want it. And I have Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
And I think that's it. I mean, I say I'm a Spider-Man fan. But like, it's interesting because if I'll see them for like $1 or $2, I'll pick it up. But if I don't, I'm like, I don't know if
it's not anything pressing. I think in a sense, it was a sort of time capsule of that time period.
Right, exactly.
So it's kind of like I hate to say it, and I thought Tobey Maguire was phenomenal in Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. I watched it again, and I did not feel it held up at all for me.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I have a feeling I'll watch part 2, and it may be because the story is established and it's already like
right.
The Spider-Verse exists. I feel like I'm probably going to like that one better. But I watched the first one, and I was like, maybe it's because I watched it 6,000 times. But it was just for me. It just faltered as opposed to like, wow, I love this movie and it's hitting all these nostalgic memories. Like, this is kind of corny. So
Andrew, I have to.
You gotta watch it again, and you have to let me know.
It's been over 10 years since I've seen Spider-Man 1. I'll definitely check that out. Spider-Man 2, I've seen enough to know that I like it.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man 3, I've seen only once, and I think everyone will say I think that's more than enough.
General consensus. There were some problems with it.
Yeah. And then the Amazing Spider-Mans, I just opted to skip out because I didn't.
They were fun.
Yeah.
The first one was good because it took time to establish like the whole backstory on his parents and stuff.
Okay.
And then the second one just went off the rail with trying to establish him and
Jamie Foxx.
No, not even Jamie Foxx stuff. They spent way too much time.
Rhino.
Not even that. The Rhino thing was like a last touch, and they were supposed to build to the Sinister Six, and if they followed that, it would have been great.
Right.
But the problem was they focused too much on him and Gwen Stacy, which is understandable because they wanted to make it a point like this was his first love and blah 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 blah. But they literally spent like 2/3 of a movie milking that just to do what everybody knows was going to happen to Gwen Stacy at the end of the movie. So,
Sounds like Passion of the Christ
by the Sinister Six. No.
I'm gonna watch Passion of Christ, and I know it's gonna happen. But we're gonna have to sit through 2 hours of it.
I've actually never watched that movie.
Okay,
but mostly because of Mel Gibson being a Nazi.
Well,
so,
sure,
you know.
But I will tell you this: when Passion of the Christ came out on DVD, my mother goes, "Okay, here's $20. I went to Target." She goes, buy it. I don't know if I'm going to watch it, but I know it's important to have.
Oh, Lord.
And I'm like, okay, sure. I was like, okay, go to Target, go pick it up, whatever. That night, I told myself, I'm going to watch it. I'll watch it once, and I know
And
that.
for the sake of the Lord, I won't touch myself tonight after.
But I was like, I'm gonna watch it, do my due diligence, and just be like, I've seen it. Good.
Right. Check and done.
Yeah. And so I watched it. I will say, admittedly, I don't consider myself a religious person. You
Yeah.
know, I'm not. You know, but yeah, I have faith and all that. But I think the whole point of if it didn't even have to have the word Christ in it, it could have just been a movie named Joe, and it's just how brutal it is, and how like
Right.
how good the special effects are, and how like it's so close to looking so real that it's so hard to. Anyway, so you tear up because it's like fuck.
It's brutal. It's gruesome. Yeah.
And then my grandmother watched it right after me.
Oh, no.
In Italian.
Yeah.
And it's even worse in Italian because it's just you don't understand. It draws you to like, what did they say? You look over, you're like, oh, they that scene. But I will say, although I know what the ending was,
Yeah.
sitting down and watching Passion.
He goes off into space or something. I never.
Yeah, at the end he wakes up and there's a T-1000. And he goes, Jesus Christ.
Jesus H. Christ. Give me your boots, your sunglasses, and your motorcycle. Oh, sorry. I should have been in 1987.
Give me your sandals, your robe.
And your healing powers.
I think if you haven't seen
That would be a great crossover, by the way.
Passion of the Christ,
Passion of
With
the
Terminator?
Passion of the Christ, Terminator 5.
well, they made a Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter, so anything is
This
possible.
is true. This is true.
I would say if you haven't seen it, I don't know if it's doing yourself a favor, but I guess try to watch it.
I might make time for it. I think I think you might have convinced me.
It's beautifully shot.
Yeah, I'm not going to pay for it though.
No,
I don't
no,
think
no.
I think Mel Gibson's got enough money. So
Actually, so they made like a deluxe version of it, or
Ooh.
whatever. The 3 disc, the Blu-ray box. It's so beautiful.
it's like dripping with blood, literally.
Yeah, it's made out of the cloth from the robe. No, it is.
The robe smells like real fresh whipped man.
You open it, there's sand in it.
What the hell? What?
Body of Christ. No, they it's just like because it's the scene where they have him holding the cross and he's walking up the hill.
Yeah.
So it's that image of him holding the cross, and it's like in like a widescreen mode. I think it's blue on the
Okay.
cover, but it's a beautiful picture. It's really cool cover art. And I've seen it once, and then I was like, I don't want to get it because I don't think it makes sense to own multiple versions of Passion of the
right.
Christ. But anyway, I will say, I think it's on Amazon. Yes, it is on Amazon.
Okay.
So
Jeffrey Bezos.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Bezos.
if you do find the time, it's 2 hours long. Again, it's beautifully shot. It looks great.
That honestly, that was another deterrent for me to watch it. I'm like, 2 hours of this?
Yeah, it's but
It was more honestly. It was more overshadowed by the controversy surrounding Gibson at the time that I was just like, maybe I'll just skip it. But
well, it's also what makes that film interesting too is the behind the scenes kind of trivia where I don't want to say it was cursed, but like who got struck by lightning? The dude got Jim
Caviezel.
Jim Caviezel got like his ribs were broken and.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing he was fucked up for most of it.
Yeah, so they had a mirror. So what they would do is they were shooting into the mirror. So the extras that were playing the soldiers were supposed to hit the mirror, and that's supposed to the illusion was that it was hitting his body.
Okay.
And so one of the whips, it was a real whip, got too close and nicked him. Fucking slashed his back. He broke his shoulder grabbing the cross. So there's like all these different stories about like all this stuff, and it seemed like it was like not a troubled shoot, but they were having these weird issues.
No, I remember hearing about half of this stuff, and I was like, "Fuck, what the hell?"
So that in its own right is
the lore behind it kind of makes it almost even more ready to be consumed and watched. Well, it's like watching Apocalypse Now.
Oh yeah, for
and
sure.
or the documentary, which they say is better, which I haven't watched yet, but I
what is that called?
Some Tales, something dark.
Dark, yeah. So,
Oh, I don't know. I can't remember. Well, if we only had some way
Apocalypse
to look
Dark.
it up. I'll look it up. Hold on. So that documentary was called Heart of Darkness.
Yes, that's
yeah,
right. Okay.
that was the big
Yes.
brain teaser there.
And speaking of Marlon Brando, there's a movie out there called The Island of Dr. Monroe.
Uh-huh.
And the documentary so that movie came out in the 90s. And there was basically Val Kilmer's in it. He's a huge dickhead.
Val Kilmer?
Off the set. Yeah, he was a big piece of shit.
Or Brando?
Well,
Or
Marlon
both.
Brando...
Or both. I know Brando,
he was difficult, notoriously.
Yeah. And I know he was going through a lot towards the end of his career. He was going through some alcoholism, and I believe his daughter passed
died.
away.
Yeah,
and
his daughter died right like a week before they shot.
yeah.
He was going through he had alcohol issues.
Yeah.
Just a typical Hollywood stuff, I guess.
Yeah, right.
But I don't want to give anything away. But I forgot the exact name of the documentary. If you type in the Island of Dr. Monroe documentary, it is fantastic. So I would say watch the documentary,
Yeah.
then watch the movie, because I have not yet watched the movie, and I've seen the documentary, and I really, 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 really want to see it. But but it goes on to explain like how the whole process of it was just a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
And so the behind the scenes makes it a lot more interesting than the actual movie itself. But anyway, you were saying.
Yeah, that's exactly what they say about Heart of Darkness.
Okay.
I've seen Apocalypse Now, and it's a great movie. It's just it's you could tell there's a lot of knit and grit worn on the face of the film, if that makes any sense.
Right.
But it's still a really coherent film. It's a really interesting film. But you hear all these backstories, like Martin Sheen had a heart attack on the set. There's scenes where Martin Sheen was really drunk in the scene where he's pretending to be drunk or allegedly pretending to be drunk. Lawrence Fishburne, I don't remember if there was issues for Lawrence Fishburne. I know he was like 17 in the movie. But there's all these random issues. Marlon Brando was a super pain in the ass for the film. And it was just all these random stuff. There was like actual bodies used in some of the filming.
Oh.
So all these chaotic reasons, and somehow this film somehow came together. What's his name was threatening to kill himself when he was making it. Francis Ford Coppola.
Was he really?
Yeah, he was just like, this is like, they had like a monsoon that destroyed a built set on the side. So every little thing that they could run into that became a problem pretty much happened. So.
And it became one of the more
and it's one of his
critically acclaimed films.
Yeah, one of his many critically acclaimed flicks. So.
And now he's on a vineyard and making wine.
Yeah, good for him, man. His wine's pretty good. I've had some of it.
I have. We actually have here. It's pretty good.
Oh yeah, I'm a fan. I've been drinking more wine lately too. I've been drinking more of the wine instead of the beer to sort of counter the calories and what have.
Better for your heart.
Better for my heart, and it gets you drunk quicker sometimes.
It gives you a nasty headache though.
Oh yeah, the hangover headache the next day is troublesome.
Yeah.
Apparently though, if I forget what my cousin said, but if you get a hangover from the wine, then that means that the hangover was provided by the preservatives added to the wine. So if you get a non-preservative wine, you will not be spanked with such a headache.
Interesting.
So, yeah. He's a vegan wine drinker, by the way.
Interesting.
Which, alludes to the fact that there are wines that are not made with, it's made with, what do you call it? Like fish products.
Sulfur?
And,
I was going to say.
Yeah. They just like with Guinness, they make Guinness with, like a fish bladder. So it has to do with the processing or filtering or something like that. So they stopped doing that recently. So now it's an officially animal related beer. But
Okay.
I digress.
Okay.